This program brought to you by Inglis, the 2021 Inglis Yearling Sales Series. Entries open now.
Casco Vecchio charges to the lead.
Hello, I'm Caroline Searcy. Welcome to Bred to Win as we edge ourselves towards the spring of 2020. Coming up on this week's show, we visit the first colt to win the Tab Everest and graduate to stallion ranks. The exciting Yes, Yes, Yes at Coolmore Stud in the Hunter Valley. We also take a look at some of the magnificent first crop of international star Merchant Navy. And another extremely popular 3-year-old, Star Thoroughbreds Rosehill Guineas winner D'Argento at the North Family's Bowness Stud in Young. Jamie Inglis with his favourite Inglis Sales story, and Sky's own Gary Harley in Arrowfield Studs, the horse who made you love racing. We start though with the first group racing for the new season in the Cambridge Stud Bred to Win wrap. Ananda Krishnan's historic Kiora stud is back in the business of standing stallions with the announcement that this year's Golden Slipper winner Farnan is the first secured to stand at the Hunter Valley property in this new era. The Todman and Silver Slipper winning son of Not a Single Doubt was due to trial this morning, but Sydney's Deluge has pushed his trial back to this Friday. The early August Inglis digital online sale begins final bids this Wednesday, starting with the weanlings in the Great Southern Weanling Sale, which is now fully online. As of Monday, Lot 703, an Exceed and Excel colt from Three Bridges Thoroughbreds, was leading the way in the bidding at $80,000, with Lot 602, a Caravaggio colt from Burnawang North, at $65,000. Lot 888, Rosina Kojanup, a winning half-sister to Golden Slipper winner She Will Reign, had already received bids up to $270,000. Don't forget, final bidding starts from 3 p.m. this Wednesday, August 12.
Not a single doubt colt turns this into a rout.
The first group races of the new season were held on Saturday with exciting Not a Single Doubt colt Anders impressive in the listed Rosebud for the new season 3-year-olds. A $670,000 Magic Millions yearling sold by Arrowfield Stud to Aquas Farm and Kieran Ma, Anders is a 3/4 brother to stakes-placed Battleground. The Missile Stakes went to the son of host Eduardo, with the tough, lightly raced 7-year-old taking his earnings to nearly $500,000. The Spring Prelude Flemington Handicap, the Ori Star, a former starting point for Bart Cummings' Cups horses, went to his grandson James and his imported 9-year-old Home of the Brave. The Godolphin-owned son of Star Spangled Banner took his earnings past the $1 million mark. The Ozhorse performance of the week was the rejuvenated Octane, a $1.4 million Inglis Premier Yearling Sale graduate bred by Rick Jamison's Gilgai Farm. The son of I Am Invincible has always been a wonderful type with plenty of ability, but some issues that trainer Philip Stokes has obviously worked out. From topping Costa de Lago broodmare Serena, Dam of Newmarket winner the quarterback, Philippi, and Pago Pago and Silver Slipper placed Born a Warrior, Octane has now won 6 of his past 7 starts for Stokes, just showing how hard it can be to get horses to be elite athletes no matter what they cost. He may be gone, but there are still yearlings to come through for Cambridge Stud's Tavistock. Over the weekend, Tavistock had winners in New Zealand, Singapore and at Doomben, while Tavi on Prince won at Rosehill in the Highway. At Flemington, he had another Saturday Metro winner in Tavi Dance, who's now won 4 of his 8 starts for Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. Cambridge Stud's Diamond Jubilee and Haydock Sprint Cup winner Hello Youm Zane put in another sterling Group 1 performance on Sunday in France with a gallant second to Debawi Space Blues in the Group 1 Prix Maurice de Geest. On the same card at Deauville, the Arrowfield Stud colours were carried to success in the Group 3 Prix de Reur by the son of Camelot Skywood, who was bought last year as a Melbourne Cup prospect by John Massara. And in other pleasing news for Arrowfield, their Japanese star Maurice sired 3 two-year-old winners in Japan over the weekend. Maurice won't travel to Australia due to COVID this season, but has around 150 foals coming through the system. And another set of familiar colours tasted success in Ireland's two-year-old Group 1, the Phoenix Stakes, with Yulong's Yusheng Zhang having his first Group 1 win after a huge investment in bloodstock in Australia and around the world. Lucky Vega will eventually join the stallion ranks at Yulong Farm. And Australia's dual two-year-old Group 1 winner Pride of Dubai had group success overseas as well, with the Coolmore stallions Star of Emirati winning the Group 3 Solera Stakes at Newmarket. And the James Cummings trained popular Almost Black Group 1 winning two-year-old and Victoria Derby winner Prized Icon has his first foal at Wagga's Coringal Stud. The filly is from the Mossman mare Cosmic View and was eagerly welcomed by the Lamont family. And finally, if you have a stud farm and would like a regally bred son of Schnitzel to stand commercially for you this season, Parast could be the stallion for you. The stunning dual group winner is available for stud duties, with his part owner Frank Cook and others looking to support him. So if you're interested in Parast, get in touch with Brett Howard at Randwick Bloodstock.
Parast by a length, Summer Passage or Kementari.
We know of races called stallion-making races, the Golden Slipper, the Caulfield Guineas, but soon Sydney's the Everest will be achieving the same status, particularly when you have a colt taking the lucrative prize, beating home a field of 10 Group 1 winners. Hailing from the Encosta de Largo sire line, Coolmore Stud's new local boy for 2020, Yes, 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 has all the attributes to continue that fabulous sire line. And speaking of speed, we check in on international star Merchant Navy, whose first foals have just turned 1.
The ladder's on for the Everest, the Tab Everest, and the gates are back, they're off. Yes, Yes, Yes is winding up. The colt, Yes, Yes, Yes takes the lead. Centre of the lane, it's charging at the end. Yes, Yes, Yes wins the Everest.
It's always exciting having a first season sire here at Coolmore, Australia, and this is a really special stallion, Yes, Yes, Yes. We know, of course, he is by your own Rubik, who's a son of your own Encosta de Largo, and it's just great to see him here. He's only a young fellow, but he's already putting on plenty of weight.
It's very exciting every year to welcome the racetrack stars back to the farm, and it's no different this year with Yes, 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 the first Everest winner to retire to start and to carry on the legacy left before him by Rubik and Encosta de Largo, who have done such a great job for Coolmore Australia over many years. He's let down particularly well in the time he's been back here at the farm and put on a lot of weight. As you can see here today, he looks amazing and he's been very well received by Australian breeders.
He is still a young stallion though, so it's all very new for him, isn't it? How's he settling in?
He's settled into his new environment particularly well. Each and every week that goes past, he looks better and better. He's put on roughly 35 kilos in condition since he's been here, and his coat looks amazing. A number of local breeders have been here to the farm to see him and have been particularly impressed by him. He covers a lot of ground, he's got great scope, he's a beautiful mover, he's got a sharp action, he was a very fast horse and you can see why. He's very correct, he's just got real presence.
And for Coolmore, I mean, you would have been looking at him, you know, keeping tabs on the very first of the Rubik's racing, and he was a very good early two-year-old. He won 2 races, one at Flemington, one at Moonee Valley, and that was in December as a two-year-old too, so he was up and going early.
Well, Rubik, his sire, is a highly promising young sire and he has a great pedigree, and obviously we followed him with great interest. Yes, Yes, Yes had wraps on him from a very early age. It's so important in today's environment to be up and racing early, and to be able to win 2 races in December of his 2-year-old season was a great credit to him.
Yes, Yes, Yes draws about a neck in front.
He produced a phenomenal performance in the Todman, running a record time of 108.4, winning in a faster time than the likes of Piero, Exceed Excel, Written Tycoon, Vancouver, General Nadim, all of whom have gone on to become successful stallions in their own right. It was a phenomenal performance, beating the likes of Bivouac, Dubious, Bellevue Hill. It really stands him as one of the elite 2-year-old colts in that generation. Already having the likes of Piero and Vancouver, previous Todman winners, in the barn here at Coolmore. He was just a horse that we had to have.
He was second in that Golden Rose to Bivouac, but he hadn't had things going his way leading into that race.
Yeah, that performance had a lot of merit in it. Second up from a spell as a spring 3-year-old, and Bivouac had 3 runs under his belt. So to head him in the straight and his condition just give out in the end and get beaten by less than a length by a very good horse with Exceedance back in third, that performance had a lot of merit in it, and it served as a great lead up to the Everest.
Yes, yes, yes! Wins the Everest!
The eyes of the racing world were on Randwick that day, and Yes, Yes, Yes turned up there and beat 10 individual Group 1 winners, some of the best sprinters we've seen here in Australia for a long time. A field like that has never been assembled before. The likes of Nature Strip, Santrana Lane, Red Zell, Trekking, Elise, In Her Time, Sunlight, etc. It was a phenomenal field, and he blew them away in track record time. A minute 7.3 at Randwick, the fastest 1200 metres ever run at Randwick. It was a brilliant performance, and the scenes after the race in the mounting yard with Tom and Bred and all the other owners, it was just great to watch, and it's something that we'll remember for many years to come.
And you know, you can see in the same barn in Costa de Lago's nameplate, you've got Rubik right next door to his son Yes, Yes, Yes. The Encosta legacy lives on.
Encosta de Lago is one of the most influential stallions in recent memory in Australia. Obviously he's a champion broodmare sire, but also his sons and grandsons have gone on to become leading sires in their own right through the likes of Northern Meteor and Zoostar and Deepfield and Rubik, who are all successful stallions. Yes, 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 with a time form rating of 125 is rated superior to any of those horses. So we're very excited to have Yes, Yes, Yes here at Coolmore, Australia, to continue the great legacy of Encosta de Lago through his sire, sons and grandsons.
Merchant Navy's flashing!
Merchant Navy, obviously a very special horse for Coolmore, Australia. The first son of Fastnet Rock to stand at Coolmore, Australia, following on from his sire, Fastnet Rock, and his sire, Dane Hill. Now that we're seeing the first foals of Merchant Navy on the ground, we couldn't be happier. And as a result, he's been very popular here in his 3rd season this year.
Merchant Navy on the near side of City Light.
Well, Pete, obviously, you know, having known Merchant Navy so intimately and being involved still with him as a stallion, you must be so proud seeing these gorgeous foals.
It's incredible. So you feel like a little father with them. You'll see from the 3 foals you saw today, there's the peas in a pod, and there's a little bit of the mothers in them, but overall, what I love about them, there's a lot of snippets in them for me. A lot of them are short back, big hip, short cannon, which is very encouraging down the track, obviously, for precocity. He
really did get some gun mares in the first season.
Incredible mares. I mean, it's one of the best buckles mares I've ever seen at my time at Coolmore and since. Elusive Wonder has thrown Modern Wonder as well. After seeing a away game as a yearling, which is why we bought the mare, this filly has a bit more scope than away game had, which is great. Same sort of leg, big shoulders, looks fast and early, but probably a little bit more scope, so couldn't be happier.
And the colt from That's How I Roll, I mean, you can really see that the cross, the fastnet and the snippets there, it's just a magnificent colt, just all the angles are correct.
He is the one foal of all the ones we have in the farm is so like his father at the same age. That beautiful shoulder, beautiful hip, short back, short cannon, just looks fast. You know, his mother was a stakes-winning Speightstown mare from America. Family of I'm a Chatterbox, all speed, and I agree with you. You can see the traits of fastness, and a lot of snippets. To me, he sort of typifies what we're getting by Merchant.
And then the Dame Margot Fontaine colt. Now, this is out of a High Chaparral mare. You know, that lovely Danehill Saddler's Wells cross that we've seen working so well with Fastnet Rock. You can see that here in this fella.
Completely, and he's a different model than the other 2 that we've seen today. I just wanted to show him because obviously it's a high chap mare and that cross, so you have a little bit more scope, but you still have, even though he's got more scope, he's got a great hip, like all of the Merchants, and a great shoulder, big strong forearms and gaskins, and a nice short cannon. He stands over more ground, yes, but moves terrifically. And the others come in the slipper and the sires, and he can win the Caulfield Guineas. All I can say is I know everybody is bred to him, is bred back to him, and that's the greatest accolade. And for us, I think from the farm there was 26 went to year 1, 22 last year, and over 20 this year again. So we're heavily vested.
We feel like Merchant Navy is the heir apparent to Fastnet Rock, and he has 7 Group 1 producing sons, including Hinchinbrook, who is a leading stallion, and Merchant Navy is bred on the same Fastnet Rock Snippets cross as Hinchinbrook. So we have every confidence that he'll go on and become a successful stallion in his own right.
And
we'll have more stories coming up in future weeks on Coolmore Stud's new European sires from the Invincible Spirit line. Coming up after the break, the dashing grey D'Argento at Bowness Stud and Jamie Inglis with his favourite Inglis Sales story.